Living in fear tonight, waiting to hear if there's a break in the case of a serial killer on the loose.
In the case of an accused serial killer in southern Indiana.
Convicted of murdering 4 women and a 12-year-old girl in separate incidents around Los Angeles.
Set in 1896 in neglected New York City, rampant with crime, immigrants, and political machines, The Alienist follows a team of highly unorthodox experts who set out to unravel the mystery surrounding arbitrary killings of young boys. Working in secret, our team begins a revolutionary effort in criminology. They put together a psychological profile of the killer based on details of the crimes. At one point in the story, a clue is left. It is a note from the murderer to the mother of one of the children he butchered. It reads, "My dear Mrs. Santarelli, I don't know as it is you what is the source of the vile lies read in the newspapers, or if the police are behind it and the reporters are part of their scheme. But as I figure it might be you, I take this occasion to straighten you out. In some parts of the world, such as where dirty immigrants like yourself come from, it is often found that human flesh is eaten regular, as other food is so scarce and people would starve without it. I have personally read this and know it to be true. Of course, it is usually children what is eaten, as they are tenderest and best tasting. Then these people that eat it come here to America. Their little children are all around, which is dirty, dirtier than a red Injun. On February 18th, I seen your boy parading himself. I decided to wait and saw him several times before one night I took him away from that place. I already knew I must eat him, so we went straight to the bridge and I trust him and did him quick. I collected his eyes and took his ass and it fed me for a week, roasted with onions and carrots. He died unsoiled by me and the papers ought to say so." This was a brilliant, however chilling use of diction. With this letter, the author not only gave us a wealth of information, but gave the reader a chance to dissect the letter right alongside the characters. You immediately notice misspellings and grammatical errors. Meanwhile, you're met with the shock and horror of the sentiment. Throughout the book, this letter is constantly referred back to, and once dissected, you realize there is so much more than meets the eye, and that makes you hypersensitive to detail. In turn, you are thinking critically right alongside the character, and all of a sudden, it becomes your mystery to solve. For example, the sentiment of the note is highly complex. However, the part about the immigrants is clearly fabricated, because the majority of immigrants, the victim's family included, were from Western Europe, where cannibalism is not common. This shows education in the complexity of the sentiment, but lack of culture, which means he's probably a second or third generation American with a little bit of education. The most well-placed, most captivating part of the book was when the reader met the killer's brother. Rather than filling in the holes of the character profile in the resolution, the author uses it as a means of suspense leading up to the climax. You are brought to where the killer grew up, brought into his home, and you are talking to his brother. With every word the brother is saying, the suspense is building. You are given immense detail, and within that dialogue, you are given confirmation on the prior 400 pages of speculation. For example, throughout the book, one commonality among the killings was that they all happened near a water source on a Protestant holiday. You learn from the brother that the family enforced strict religious practices, and although the father observed holidays, the mother did not. Therefore, she abused her kids on those days. You then learn that the killer had an interest in John the Baptist, known as the cleanser of the earth, proving that the killer justified his own actions and that he had an end goal in mind. He was trying to cleanse the earth. Of course, these are twisted thoughts, but brilliantly placed so that, by the end of the chapter, you are bursting at the seams, anticipating every move the killer is making.